Hey everybody, this is Tom again in Western North Carolina, still working on the shaving horse. Anyways, I'm going to label this again, how to make a shaving horse, and this is a continuation of the rear legs. I've just pulled these two legs out of my jig that I had them clamped and nailed into. There's my two nails. Brads, I guess they really are. But I'm going to pull those brads out of there. I'm going to use a little pair of vice grips and a pair of needle nose pliers. Oh, that one broke right away. See if I can grab it. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get that one. I'm just going to have to punch that one in. See if this one will come out. There, it broke off. But I'm going to get this one, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. Yep. I got that one. Anyways, this one here, it broke off real close in. But I'll just be able to take a punch and punch that down in below the surface of the wood, and it'll be okay. But anyways, these two now, they need to be sanded. This surface here needs to be sanded. This surface needs to be sanded. Sometimes this surface, and this surface, if these don't just match up just right, they need to be sanded. Anyways, and how I would go about sanding these is on this stationary belt sander. And I would just lay this on here and sand it. And I want that to be as flat as I can make it. And then this edge up here end needs to be sanded, and I would just sand it on here like this. Now it's a good idea that these two things come out pretty square to each other. And this, so if you're aware of that, you want to try to make those square. Anyways, once you've done this side, then you can chamfer these. You can chamfer these three corners there. Go buzz that on there, then that, and then this side here. And then this other end here, the floor end, you can put it on there, flatten that, and then you can do all four sides of it. And once you've done that, your piece is going to look something like this one here. I've already done it. Flat on this side, flat up here. It's got chamfers on three sides. And then the floor side, has chamfers all the way around it. Okay, now you say, I don't have one of these things here. You can do all of those steps with a belt sander, just a belt sander that looks something like this. A lot of you are going to have one of them. You can either clamp this down to your table and use it kind of like a stationary sander, or you can clamp your pieces of wood in the vise and work on them, holding the sander and having your piece of wood clamped down. They both work pretty good, and sometimes the one way is better for certain things than the other way. But I have done many shaving horses with just a belt sander, and so I know that you can do it with that. If you don't have any sander, you're going to have to use your plane or a file or just somehow by hand. And that's just the way it is. Anyways, once you get that thing, your piece sanded, and you get it to this point here, where you've got your chamfers on your ends, and you got it flat here, and you got your sides flat. then you're going to run the router on this thing. And I'm going to run this router. I'm going to clamp this in the vise and do my router on it. Now on this particular piece, I'm going to start at this corner and go around it. I'm going to do this edge, and then I'm going to do this edge. Now right here where these two meet up, I'm not going to go all the way to that corner. I'm going to stop before I get there. A piece of wood fell. I got a little piece of wood I set in there so this piece don't get marked by the vise. But how I know where to stop is I just stop when this edge of the router gets to that corner is when I stop. And when I turn the piece over on the other side, when I start on the other side, I'll use that same guide. Now I have a chamfer bit in this, and it's just a 45-degree angle bit, has a bearing, so it runs on the side of your piece of wood. And I think this is called a trim router. It's just a small router. But I'll go ahead and show you routing it. If you don't have a router and you want these edges to be softened, I'd say probably the easiest way to do it would be with a plane. It's going to be a little difficult in here in this inside corner, but you can probably figure it out. But I do know if you make one of these shaving horses and don't do any routing on it, don't relieve any of these edges, your shaving horse looks like it hadn't had any routing done on it. I can't think of the term. It's just when you route it, it's just all the edges look a lot softer, and they are softer. This is kind of a sharp edge, where this routed edge is kind of nice and smooth. So anyways, here goes the router. I always pick up a little piece of sandpaper. A lot of times there's a little burr or something on there, but I go around and try to make sure that's smoothed up. But then I'm going to flip the piece over, and like I said, this time I'm going to start right in this area. So I'm going to put the edge of my router right there to start. So there, that piece now has been sanded and routed, and I'd already done its mate. So there is a pair of rear legs ready to go in your shaving horse, or ready for the next step. Anyways, that's a quick little video on the rear legs. Little personal history. This vise here was on the workbench in my basement when I was growing up. I didn't use it very much, but it was there available. And my dad, who I'm sure was the person who bought it, didn't use it very much. My brother-in-law had this vise, and I got it, I can't remember now, 3 or 4 years ago. He gave it up and I got it. But that's a little side note. Anyways, probably bought around 1950. Anyways, that's a video. I'll be making another one pretty soon when I get to the next step. And I hope you guys are doing well. And if you are making a shaving horse, just keep on keeping on with it. I'll have another video out soon. And be thankful. I'm thankful for what I have. Thanks for watching. See you soon.